of spurred me on to be like, okay, how do I think I would do in all this? So we're going to be doing a tier maker of all the Olympic sports. As you can see, the tiers, we start at the bottom as I would die attempting the sport. It doesn't matter if I win or lose, I would die. I could not complete the event. I could complete the event, but I would lose. Then I could beat the average teenager, and at the top I could beat the average adult. So we're not talking about Olympians here. I'm not beating any Olympians in any of these sports, obviously. But I decided to actually do some research on this topic of who the average person is. So we have 3 columns here. First up, we have the average adult. Globally, the average adult, according to the research I found, is a 28-year-old Chinese man. Alright. He is 5 feet 7.5 inches tall and weighs 137 pounds. So, that is who I will be imagining when I talk about the average adult. Now, for the average teenager, this was a lot more difficult to find information on, but from what sources I could find, it seems that the average teenager is a 13-year-old boy living in India. He is 5 feet 2 inches tall and weighs around 110 pounds. Okay, now there is me, the person competing against them. I am 29 years old. I am 6 feet 2.5 inches tall, although I always round up to 6'3" because it sounds better. And my weight fluctuates, but right now I weigh around 215 pounds. So I'm taller and heavier than both of these competitors, which I will be taking into account on these events. Not that it'll matter for some of them. Okay, so let's get into the tier list now. We're going to start with archery. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not 100% familiar with the rules to all of these sports. Okay, archery. I know that the distance is very long that they have to shoot. I've seen the event, it's a very long distance. So I'm going to say I could not complete the event because I don't think I could get the arrow on target at that distance. I don't think the average adult or teenager would be able to complete the event either. I think we would likely both be disqualified. Artistic gymnastics. You know, let's move up a little bit here. Let's go to badminton. I've played a little bit of badminton as a kid, like in the front yard, at the beach. I think I could beat the average teenager, but I'm not convinced I could beat the average adult at badminton. Basketball, I'm very confident in here, given my height and size advantage over both the average adult and the average teenager. Not to mention, I have played basketball for years and years of my life. I'm fairly confident there that I could beat the average adult in basketball. Same with 3-on-3 basketball. Now, obviously, it's a team game, so that gets a little bit tricky. But I don't know how you work that out exactly. Artistic gymnastics. I think I could technically complete the event, I suppose. But I think I'd lose. I imagine the average teenager teenager is probably far more flexible than I am. They can probably, do the pommel horse or whatever marginally better than I could. Obviously not at a professional level, but I have really bad flexibility in general. So I think artistic gymnastics I'd probably lose to the average teenager. And probably the average adult as well. Again, given the smaller size and weight, I think they would just be more flexible and perhaps better at gymnastics. Swimming, I'm not a strong swimmer at all. I imagine that the average teenager and average adult is probably a better swimmer than I am. So I'm going to say I could not complete the event. Athletics. I don't know exactly what this is encompassing. It's just track and field because things like that, I think it is. I'm really good at short distance running. Like you give me 100 meters and I think I win that. I have really good sprint speed. I accelerate pretty good. I'm decently fast off the line, but I don't really have that much stamina and my cardio is not great. I think as soon as you start getting into the longer races, I probably start losing those. Things like the long jump or any sort of jumping, hurdling. It feels like a toss-up in my opinion. So I'm gonna just put it here. I'm not confident that I could beat the average adult. Beach volleyball is the same. I've played a bit of volleyball, but I'm really not good at volleyball. Both volleyball in the gym and volleyball at the beach, I'm just not very good at it. Obviously my height will give me a bit of an advantage in certain ways, but I think that the average person, especially being a little bit smaller and lighter, might have a little bit better lateral movement than I do in volleyball. They might be able to get to their spots quicker. So I'm going to say I could beat the average teenager, but I'm not confident I could beat the average adult in beach volleyball. Boxing, I'm putting boxing, I could beat the average adult just on height and size difference alone. Almost 100 pounds heavier. Half a foot taller. I don't think, me versus somebody who's 5'7", especially Olympic style boxing where a lot of it's on points, I would have a reach advantage pretty significantly. I think I could beat the average adult in boxing. Break dancing, I think I could do it, but I would embarrass myself and probably lose. Again, similarly to the artistic gymnastics here, I don't trust that I'm flexible enough or coordinated enough to pull that off. Somebody who's a little bit lighter and smaller might be able to. We have a lot of cycling stuff here. Canoe sprint. So this is just how fast you can go in a straight line, I'm assuming. On a canoe. I know rowing is extremely, extremely difficult. But if it's me competing against other non-Olympians and it's purely how fast can you go, I think I can probably displace water at a greater rate. So I'm going to go ahead and say I could beat the average adult. Canoe slalom, I honestly don't know what that is. Here, let me see if I can. I must be able to put this up on the screen, but if I can find a video of canoe slalom. Oh. Yeah, I would die. I'm pretty sure I these same water conditions. No, canoe sprint is just still water, so that's okay. But canoe slalom is in like rapids and huge rushing waves, and I don't think I have the training to survive that. I think I would get swept up in the current and die. Cycling BMX freestyle. So this is going to be an embarrassing thing for me to admit. I do not know how to ride a bicycle. I just don't know how. I've attempted it many times in my life. I have terrible balance. I fall over. So just for that alone, all of these cycling things, I could not complete the event. I just couldn't do it. Diving. I think diving, I would die. Equestrian. I don't think I could complete the event. I've ridden a horse before, which I think the average person in the world probably has not ridden a horse. But I've watched the equestrian at the Olympics, and it's like doing the hurdles, doing the dressage, all that stuff, and I don't know how to make a horse do that. So it's another one of those things where I think we would just both be disqualified. Fencing. Now the fencing is tricky because I think the average person, because they're smaller than me, will probably be a bit lighter on their feet, maybe a bit more agile, which could help them. I would have the reach advantage. I don't know. I think I could beat the average teenager, but I'm not convinced I could beat the average adult in fencing. Football. I'd complete the event, but I would lose. Straight up, the average person in the world plays football a lot more than I do. I've played a game of pickup football, soccer, probably 5 times in my entire life, and I was never any good. I don't think I've ever scored a goal in open play of a pickup game. And I think the average person around the world has played it a lot more. They've done more in the sport. And again, if you're going for 90 minutes, I think they would probably outlast me. So I think I would lose. Golf. I'm really bad at golf. Really bad. But I think I'm probably marginally better than the average person, just due to the fact that I've played before. So I think I theoretically could beat them. But it would be probably the worst game of golf anyone's ever seen in their life. Handball. Handball is just, hold on, I had to look this one up. Handball. Oh, I would kill the average adult in handball. Yeah, I think I take this one. Hold on, take myself smaller again. Now field hockey. I think I take that too. I'm not super confident, but I don't. Judo, I could not complete the event because I don't. It's like there's very strict rules, and you can only do certain throws and things like that. And I just don't know. It's one of those disqualification things. Marathon swimming, I would drown. Straight up, I would drown. Modern pentathlon, I could not complete that event. Nor the triathlon, those both go in that category. Sailing, I think I could complete the event, but I don't think I would win. I don't even know. No, I couldn't do sailing. there's no part of me that could do sailing. Shooting, I could beat the average adult. Yeah, I've been shooting guns since I was like 8 years old. Shot rifles hundreds and hundreds of times in my life. Pistols, pretty much any type of gun I've shot it. Skeet shooting, target shooting, all that stuff. So I'm pretty confident, me, the average American, could probably beat the average global person in shooting. Okay, skateboarding. Now, I did skateboard a little bit as a teenager. So I can stay on the board, I can do an ollie, and that's about it. But I'm not... I don't think I complete the event. Even though I've done it with what is required in the Olympics, I couldn't do it. Sport climbing. Now, sport climbing is that the one where you have the harness? Are you free? Yeah, I could not complete the event. I wouldn't be able to reach the top. I'm pretty sure I would not be able to reach the top, so it would be disqualified. Surfing, I would die. Swimming, like I said, I'm not a strong swimmer, but I could not complete the event. Table tennis. Now this is where it gets tricky. Okay, because when I did my research, the average person in the world is a Chinese man, and China dominates at table tennis. Like it's not even close. So I feel like the average Chinese person has played table tennis far, far more than I have. So I think I could beat the average teenager, but I don't think I could beat the average adult. Taekwondo, this is another one where I don't know the rules, so I'd get disqualified. Tennis, I'm pretty confident I could beat the average adult in tennis. My dad was a tennis instructor when he was younger, so I've played a little bit. I'm not super good, but I've played. I know the rules. I think the average person probably hasn't ever played a game of tennis, so I think I could take them. Trampoline, I could complete the event, but I think I'd lose. Volleyball, I think I could beat the average teenager. Again, same as beach volleyball. I know I'm not very good. Water polo, I think I would drown. I was watching water polo the other day. Those guys are swimming for 60 minutes, something like that. It's a super deep pool. They're treading water the entire time while also trying to complete the sport and score goals. I am 100% I would drown at some point in all of that. Weightlifting, I'm confident I could beat the average adult in weightlifting. I'm not super strong, but I was going to the gym for 2 years before I moved here. Stopped going, got lazy. But I've just started going back again. My lifts are, not what they used to be, but I used to be able to rack pull 5 plates on each side. My max bench was never that good. It was 215, but I think that's still better than the average adult globally, so I think I could win in weightlifting. And same with wrestling. I think just my height and my weight advantage over the average person, 5'7", 137, I just think it really wouldn't be, it wouldn't be a sanctioned matchup, to be fair, but that's not part of the thought exercise, so there we go. Not completing the event is obviously the largest category, because a lot of this stuff is really, really difficult. Well, I mean, all of it's difficult, but some of it has very specific rules that either I don't understand or I'm not capable of meeting. But I mean, a lot of this stuff is just the basis of the average person compared to me. Not that I'm particularly good at any of these things. The only thing on this that I'm really any amount of confidence in would be basketball. Yeah, it's maybe a bit of wrestling, but that's the only thing I really have any amount of confidence in. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think of this list. If you agree or disagree, how you think you personally would do in any of these events in these categories. But anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. Until next time, bye bye.